Yeah. For Furious 7, they made more money, about 100 more, approximately 100 million pounds more than Avengers: Age of Ultron. They had less budget. In some in some cases, they used some of the budget for the CGI, which in one of the scenes they used for the car to smash through a couple of buildings.
Buildings in Dubai.
Yeah, the buildings of Dubai. And for Terminator Genesis, they made less money and they had less budget. For Far From the Madding Crowd, they made less money, a lot less, and basically all the weekly one made a lot less money because Avengers: Age of Ultron was basically had no competition with any of those week. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, they have probably had less quality because of the amount of money they had to spend, and the cast, like I said, is not well known, and the plot for the film was a little bit complicated, not too much, which some people have said about on websites, and there was no competition on the year it came out, because there were no other films that were competing with it. And then there was Furious 7, who made more money and had less budget, but they still used some of the CGI effects from the crash in the Dubai. And the storyline was quite good, because it was quite simple what they were looking for and who they were targeting at. But in some part of the story, it was a little complicated because it was going on for a bit too long and they didn't know what was going on really. Yeah, and for the director, he is well known, and so is the director for the Avengers: Age of Ultron, and also because of the plot that's linked with Furious 5, Furious 6 and Furious 7 about a person with lost memory, it may have brought more people in because they wanted to find out whether she gains her memories. And the cast for all the films are not as well known as the people in Avengers: Age of Ultron, and with Terminator Genesis they were competing with Magic Mike XXL, which is why they probably have not made much money. With Gerontophobia, the storyline was not easy to it was quite unusual, let's say that. In a way, it was about a guy that's obsessed with elderly people, and most people and it made really low budget, little money, like less than $4,000, and because of that, some of the films all the films from Weekly had not distributed to many countries, and because of that, it did not get as much money. Whereas Avengers: Age of Ultron stayed to many countries, and because of the location they made, it may have appealed to lots of people and might have got them excited because it was distributed everywhere, almost everywhere in the world, and it might have excited them because they might have recognised the location that they've been to.
So the market research that I did was on the poster and trailer, which are two of the things that I showed within the focus group. So with the trailer, I looked at some of the comments that people had on the film, and I looked at those. I said about how well the trailer did and what overall view of what people said and stuff like that. And then with the poster, I looked at how it was made, how it looked, and kind of the aesthetic stuff on it. So with the trailer, people loved the trailer. They said it was one of the best trailers, as what she said throughout most of the comments. But the one problem that people had is that the trailer was that they thought the trailer was better than the film. That a lot of people said that they liked the film, but the trailer gave away a bit too much than what they wanted, and that the trailer made the film seem a lot darker than it actually was, had a completely different atmosphere, which then led people to go to the film and then found out it was completely something else. They felt like it was overhyped, that the trailer made everything seem so much cooler with all the fight scenes and stuff and the shouting between each other, that it overhyped people too much, and that they felt that they were then let down a bit when they went to go see the film. With the poster, it really showed who the main actors were, because the big three actors, the two main actors that you could really see were Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans. And then Mark Ruffalo was probably the other biggest one, but then the only other thing that was as big as them was the logo of it. It does show, as a trailer, there's lots of action that there was in the film, and there is some of the comments that people left on the YouTube channel. But from this, it shows, as it has shown throughout, that people have a positive view on the film, and that they like the film, but the thing is also with the trailer, they felt it ruined it a bit for them. So, the final conclusion, we feel like the film was successful as it did. It had a high budget, it had A-list actors, it had good writers and good director, and that it did really well. It did really well in the box office, it did really well with views on it, most people loved it.
It's mainly to do with genre that most people really like, I guess, with sci-fi and action film. I mean, there's lots of them, but they're not as successful as this film, because Avengers Age of Ultron made them the most amount of money.
Yeah, so overall we feel like, in conclusion, from what we have seen, from what we've looked at, the production research we saw about the exact people who were in the film, who made it, with the cinematographers, the writers, the editors and stuff like that, that a lot of effort was put into this film to try and continue the series and to keep it going. But even though people loved the film, they felt it was a little bit too overhyped.